Hello, and welcome to yet another episode of Rugby Through the Leagues podcast. As you can see, still here, still in England, obviously making full use of it though. So last week we had the great episode with everyone from the Flaming Unicorns down at Millbrook, down at Gosport. Really appreciate all the welcomes that was extended to myself, and really appreciative of Millbrook's hospitality as well. Great little club down there. Big plans, obviously, to create a sustainable club and really want to push forward and share that community feel with an extremely great price point for everyone as well. For £25 a season, you ain't going to find many clubs that can do the same as what they're doing. So fair play to everything they're doing down there. Obviously, this weekend just gone was the first weekend of the season for a lot of teams. I was invited down to Petersfield, saw their win against North Dorset. We're going to be releasing that episode next week, so that's another one to get around. So this one we've managed to get to Newbury in the pre-season to see how they fared against Swindon. We're actually been invited up there on Saturday to see their first home game against Wimborne. So we're going up there to sort of just go in just after this release. So again, this one's a great episode, proper grassroots, pre-match, literally half-time, post-match, interviews from everyone before the season started. They unfortunately didn't quite get the win against Chichester that they were hoping to start the season, but we'll be up there again this weekend, share a bit of content, hopefully be able to see what they're going to do to rebound from that as well. So this week, another great one. Great to have James McAvoy on as head coach. Great to see what he's done up there. Obviously managed to get Dan Fawn and Harry on as captain and vice captain. Sharpie over at Swindon was really welcoming and obviously able to jump on. They got caught out a little bit by the traffic, so wasn't able to get pre-match with him, but managed to get him during half time and had a chat with him afterwards. So really good episode, another proper grassroots rugby one. So let's get on with it.
Right, we are down at Newbury on a Friday night light game. We've got James McAvoy. Thank you very much for jumping on, mate. Really appreciate
very much
having us as we're trying to do it. Promote the sponsors of local grassroots rugby. As you can see and hear, there's a few people down here, James. It's a bit of a rush game, because there was a bit of a change of plan. Is that correct?
Yeah, so we were originally going to play Bracknell in a fixture tomorrow, but thankfully Swindon have stepped up on a beautiful Friday night lights.
Yeah.
Same level as us, different league. We've got a bit of history with them in the past of playing a few seasons ago where we were successful, but what they offer us as a test through the pack and physically is something we haven't seen in our previous preseason games. So having this on, as rushed as it is, obviously good for player adaptability into it, and what will be a good physical test.
Brilliant, because you've had some decent numbers this summer, haven't you, so far? From obviously you guys put a bit of a pumping on my Gosport team, which is not really appreciated, but you've obviously got a few going away back to uni. You've got a few coming in this season. What's sort of the plan? Where do you think it's going?
Yeah, so this is kind of year one of the rebuild. And by that, I mean not just kind of the rugby team itself, but the club as a whole.
Right.
Obviously yourself, and you've seen the social media campaign that we've kind of put together and the way that's boosted. And I can't thank Kevin Rose enough as the new Blue team manager on what he's done there. Obviously what that's done is it's also promoted not just us to the community. It's brought in new players. It's brought in sponsorship opportunities. So awesome. In terms of we're trying to have that player-centered approach, and obviously that's a big part of it. What we can offer our players. In terms of the numbers, we have been pretty blessed with new players, and obviously competition for places is going to mean with only two teams for men's, there might even be some boys that next week's league game maybe don't feature in a team, and that's obviously unfortunate for them, but it pushes boys to make those two teams. So
the two, what's league did you two play in?
So they're in level 8.
Okay.
Last year, some good teams in there. Reading Abbey got promoted straight out of that. To go and join Reading now, actually. So that'll be a nice derby for them. Henley Twos, one of those teams that, obviously have their first team in National 2 level. So obviously for their twos to be in there is usually good competition there with boys coming in out of actual national rugby.
Yeah, brilliant.
For us, we've got a lot more of a secure second team this year. which obviously is going to have probably 50% of those boys would have played first team.
Yep.
Which will offer a lot more kind of leadership roles through that team and stability. And then the rest of those boys then hopefully pushing for places. So
same as many Colts coming through, got many people, many.
Yeah, so between the Colts, there's a few boys out here tonight making senior debuts.
Wow.
And there'll be a few boys that have kind of transitioning. Either they've just finished their rugby at uni, so they were in our Colt system. We never saw them play as a senior.
Okay.
But they've just transitioned back from their 3 years of usually one of the Bucks Super Rugby teams, which is obviously great for us.
Yeah, decent, yeah.
And then we can filter them back in. So,
really pleased. So, how many you got out there tonight, did you say?
So 28 altogether tonight. Colts boys, we've got 3 out there this evening. So
decent. So it should be a good run out.
Yeah.
Swindon, do you think they're gonna? As you said, up front, is the plan just try and stretch them a little bit and get the big boys blowing a little bit?
Yeah, we've been playing a new attack shape this year.
Okay.
And in the first couple games, obviously the scores being 77-12 and 88-5.
Yeah.
The shape can become a bit redundant because lines being broken. It can become a bit of a faster paced offload game, and that is something we thrive on up tempo. So I'm happy to see we're putting those away. But today might be a test where we go through 3-4 phases, work edge to edge, and by those minutes accumulating, I'm hoping to see us, as you say, stretching a bigger pack, using our skill set, which we think should be largely better.
Yeah, brilliant. As you mentioned to me earlier, you've played with a couple of our previous guests, Liam as well. Did you play with Matty McLean down at Worburn as well?
There at a time, yeah.
So obviously you've played to a level. Where have you been? What have you done as yourself, really? And how have you ended up here?
Yeah, so growing up in Portsmouth, Havant was my local club growing up through middies and junior, and then after finishing that, went off to Cardiff Met.
All right,
which was Newark at the time, which kind of shows my age.
Yeah.
That it was still the old school name. Obviously got to play with some fantastic boys there. My year was Alex Cuthbert and Lloyd Williams.
Oh, okay.
And multiple Lions internationals. So hell of a learning experience there. Came back down to Portsmouth, kind of got brought into Worthing, got asked to kind of go across there. And travelled a few bits with a guy called Matty Peters and Liam across as we were kind of living in the same area. And then from there, pretty much because my teaching as head of PE went in, my Saturday rugby kind of had to take a hold, and that's where not being able to maybe play the level I wanted to, kind of transitioned into coaching at a younger age. And then about 5 years ago, completed my level 3 advanced coaching award. Did that through Newbury as attack and backs coach, and then transitioned into head coach.
Brilliant.
2 years ago.
Okay, so do you reckon you could have made it, or was it the money wasn't there to put on the table?
No,
teacher and stuff.
Yeah, honestly, I think there were times younger when you think about it. But in terms of my career, I'm really pleased that kind of the teaching and coaching go hand in hand. With all the little bits I do with like UR7's Academy and the old DPP things and different academies, I'm pretty happy with that, and then I'll jump in here and there with a ball when I need to.
Do you get a run out? Do you play?
I got 2 caps, 2 tries as I did so far. But
wait to be able to watch it. Hopefully we can grab you at half time. See how we're going.
Well, absolutely.
Obviously get an update. I'm going to try and see if I can grab the Swindon head coach.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So, top man.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate. Right. We've got Sharpie here from Swindon Rugby Club. Obviously, you guys got here a little bit later than planned. As James said earlier, we've got this a bit of a rushed thrown together session. So fair play to you for getting down here. Obviously, it's not an easy travel for you, is it? And
I mean the traffic wasn't particularly great, but James texted us last weekend. Grassroots, we're having a lot of fixtures cancelled because people are struggling to fill teams.
Is that in your league or local area and that? Or?
Yeah, it's all over. Much of the smaller clubs, we're seeing a lot of players tend to go to the larger clubs now. Tends to come down to facilities and what they can offer players. Us in ourselves, we're going through a bit of a transition at the minute whereby our clubhouse will be going, it'll be replaced with a 2-story complex, an artificial pitch. But until then, we've got a small squad. So we're really looking forward to a bit of a run out today. The top quality side, Newbury. You can tell they're really well drilled. For us, this is our first hit out. For these guys, they're really refined and they're just kind of polishing those final bits as as both teams approach the season next Saturday. It starts.
So who have you got next Saturday?
We've got Keynsham at home.
Nice.
It's a much more important game than we'd like to admit.
Yeah.
It's a very tough league. We finished 10th last year.
Right.
I mean, arguably, we're pretty lucky at times to stay up. So look, it's going to be a really tough year for us. But if we can get off to a good start, we go away to Western the week after.
That's enough little price. You got some profit there.
The problem with the league is, and where we are currently, you look at Western, then you look at the week next, and like, it doesn't actually get any easier for us. So it tells us, the challenge lies there ahead.
Right. So obviously, new stadium, new pitch. The new pitch there, is that a necessity for you guys? Is waterlogged pitch is quite common and stuff.
I think as time's gone on, one of the things we've seen is pitch maintenance. It tends to go by the wayside. When the drainage is pretty good, we tend to leave it. Just not keep it on top of things, change your personnel, and that's pretty much it.
Club in a stable position though financially?
Yeah, we are. We've scaled down a bit. So the expenditure is not too high, but it's sustainable for us. It means scaling down from 3 teams down to 2 teams. And it works for us at the moment. But the challenge would be when we get our new stadium, the overheads will inevitably go up. We've got to have a real drive for social memberships as well as new players.
Obviously, bar there, full setup, league lunches, that sort of stuff.
The good stuff.
It'd be brilliant. So what's the target for this season then? It
is survival.
Survival,
It's not a nice thing.
No, you've got to call it as it is, though. There's no point to put.
I think if you give unassailable targets, you're setting the lads up for failure. So we just want to stay up this year.
Good group of core lads that have sort of stuck with it up. Many young lads coming through?
No, we're all old. We're kids. So the social's good, though.
No, it's good.
Work hard, play hard and all that stuff.
No, lads obviously look like they're doing well tonight. I know it's obviously Newbury are a very well drilled side. But obviously their backs are pretty well drilled.
They're great, aren't they?
Yeah, you guys have obviously got a forward heavy pack. Which obviously works for you guys at times, but obviously gives these teams. Was there a game plan, or was it just a case today we've got to get out?
We know.
Run around.
Yeah, we know. Look, it's the first time I've seen some of these lads all summer. So we're going to be rusty, but we know Newbury are very effective in the outside 15. So we spoke before about trying to counter ruck, slow down the ruck. Just by the backs and the back three, a bit more time to be able to spread. We've got new combinations, so the comms is going to be quite difficult. It's going to take a bit of getting used to. They're hanging in pretty well, to be fair. Newbury, if they get the bounce of the ball the way that they're playing, they may score a few more tries. But I'm actually quite happy with how it's going. As long as we keep the penalty count down, right?
Their 10's decent, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a great player. So I actually... He's played here a few years. I played here, must have been a long time ago. I think it was the first game I've seen. It was like an 84-0 game.
Oh, nice.
With a 42-year-old on the wing. I was like, that's a bad day.
Not going to turn out great. But no, Sharpie, thank you so much. Hopefully we catch up at the end and really appreciate it. Cheers, mate. Cheers, pal. Decent first half there. Couple of tries. Spread them pretty well. What's the game plan for the second half? Try and get it wide and spread it out, or try and just see if we can get...
To be honest, I think if we kept that first team on, we'd have seen the exact same game plan we spoke about. We had the physicality off the top. They came out with about being noisy, things like that. Counter rucking, we said about that, adjusted well. Spoke about a bit of ball press, just individual behaviours. If the rucks look a bit messy like that, we want to play fast, just what's it like on the floor. But I think ultimately... we spoke about playing a bit edge to edge and with the crossfield kicks, actually, there's another 3 tries there.
100%.
Whether we could have moved...
But you wish the hooker wasn't sat on the wing at the time.
But I mean, like, our bit will be on the VO, whether we needed to go through hands, whether we needed to do that. But actually, you play best space and... apart from being a bit overweighted, there's 3 tries there on edges.
The ref's done well tonight. I know he's obviously trying to make the game play, and obviously it's a pre-season game, so the refs let it play. Do you think that some of the decisions you obviously work in your favour in the league? Obviously, if you guys can try and do exactly the same positions.
I think we're putting our defence under pressure. And I think it's forcing pens and ultimately, there might have been a yellow or 2, whether it was the quick tap, not 10, probably would have been one, maybe something else. And obviously if we're playing against 14, the way we stretch boys,
100%
tempo style, we'd see this open up even more. So I know the ref, and we spoke about not doing yellow, always have 15 in pre-season. But I'm happy that we would have tested them to a point where cards might have been on the table.
You started picking them up, didn't you? Couple of ends and stuff that they soon add up, and you get a team yellow, and that gives you a different position. So
Yeah.
obviously the play, you've got a few lads come on. Is there any of the Colts got on now? Are they trying to?
So he's actually one of them started 13.
Oh well, yeah.
In a scrum cap. He's playing really well.
No.
Good balanced feet on the air. Makes good decisions. And we got one of the boys playing in the back row now as well. This will be a good physical competition out there today.
Well, game for him. I was talking to Sharpie. He said that first time they've pretty much got together this pre-season. So they've got a home game against Kingsham next week, and he said it's a survival season for him. He said it's a bit of a concern, but they've hopefully got a new stadium coming up as well. Wow. So that's bright future for Swindon, but fair play to them for getting this game on as well.
I was appreciative for that.
No, brilliant. Hopefully we can catch up at the end.
Absolutely. Cheers. Thank you very much,
James. Great game there. Couple of tries in either side. Obviously conceded one from their side. Second half, you made a few changes. Obviously tried a few different things. They come back into the game a little bit. That's probably no judgment on the players that come on. Is it? It's just I think they got themselves in, realised that there was actually space that they could work on, and it managed to get around the outside. A lot of positives from you.
Yeah, it really was. I think we wanted to make those changes in the second half. And ultimately, we spoke about what levels the boys play at. I'm not going to speak too much to that point, but that was a physical Swindon side that have got a level 6 game next week. Spoke they're preparing for. And we've got some boys playing level 8 preparing for their game next week. So for them to have that test in there and maybe to understand the levels if they want to play blues was really good for them. We'll look a little bit at some bits on kick chase and things like that. I think when the changes happened, I'm not sure we adapted well into how we were playing. That kind of allowed their 13 maybe to find that space wide. They wouldn't have had that if they just had the ball play. But potentially by us kicking down and not chasing it allowed them to play a bit freer and on the front foot. But from a set piece point of view, we had a few boys coming back from ACL injuries tonight. And for them to get kind of 60, 70 minutes out of the game, solid, really pleased.
A couple of knocks I saw. One leg went off, had his elbow being sort of iced up. Serious, not serious?
No, so that was a little hyperextension. It just went a little bit further extension-wise than is natural. So he's just going to tape up, had a bit of ice on there. He'll rest up, see the physio, and be
good to go for 2 weeks for your game.
Just the next one, next day, 8 days now. So Blues have got Chichester away. And the Stags have got Crowthorne here.
Nice. So any concerns injury wise?
No, if anything, the boys that came off, if it wasn't that, was just like a little bit of tightness, tightness, bits and bobs like that. Routine little niggles, as you say. So come away from it knowing a bit more about our Colts, as we said. Boys of ACLs and injuries have had even more minutes now against a more physical side.
Definitely.
And I think what we can be really confident is when we play the way that we want to play. I know that's cliche to say, but
you can see that.
You can see the levels and you can see it turn on and turn off. Our biggest thing is just how can we stay on for as long as possible, really.
Obviously, your 10 seems fairly critical to your gameplay. Is he not a non-injury type of guy, or have you got a backup plan if that sort of goes south?
So last year he actually won the kind of Iron Man award, the kind of Man of Steel for minutes and his gameplay. We had a hooker and Harry who they got on the edge. And Toby, who actually played pretty much every minute of every game.
Oh wow!
Who were also in for the reckoning. So we've got some boys with good resilience. Obviously we put our 15 into 10 period of time today. And he would have stayed there if it wasn't for the changes that had to happen elsewhere in the back line. That kind of meant that our 10 had to come back on. But our 15 can slot into that spot and take it if needed. But
brilliant. No, it looks like it's going to be a good season for you guys.
Hopefully.
Top man, cheers, Jane. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Right, so we've got Harry here, your vice captain for the season,
This season,
How do you think tonight went?
It was good. It was a much more physical test than the last 2 games for us, which is good. We needed to play a bit more attacking shape as well. But I think we held up quite well. Got a bit scrappy towards the end of the first half.
They're up for a right one.
But it was good. Like we needed that. So a bit more pressure on the lads. So
second half was a little bit harder.
Made a few subs, and I don't know. We just let the game dictate. Let them dictate us a bit more.
They slowed the game down. At first half, they couldn't get near. They really, you obviously get nice. Your your game plan's pretty much backed, isn't it?
Yes.
So for the
ball and attack.
so obviously your forward pack. Have you got to try and adapt that, or have you just literally got to put the platform in place and just leave it rest of?
Yeah, keep the platform up. But we have worked a lot more on working out as in pods and getting out in the backs and doing a bit more face players.
Was it you that got caught down this on the wing?
I have no
comment. On the
yeah.
I thought we were going to get a hooker on there, nudging it, but
usually works.
It ran away. But fair play. So this season. James has sort of said a rebuild. I believe you guys have got a bit more of a more in the tank. What's your opinion?
No, for sure. We've got some new lads in as well, which are giving us a bit more of an edge to always work for positions a bit more now. Get some more skill involved, which is good. Like looking forward to the season. Tougher teams coming in.
So you got Chichester away.
Big game.
That's a big game.
Yeah, one of the tougher games for us, especially. Yeah.
Obviously, who else you got in your league? You've got
Bournemouth have just come down, so that'd be another tough.
Oh, that's going to be a hard game. Yeah.
I'm pretty. I can't remember.
Wimborne and stuff like that. Winchester. You got Petersfield as well.
Yes, that's it. Yeah. Was it North Dorset? I think.
Oh, okay.
There'd be some big packs up front. So. Be good for us.
What's your thoughts this season? What do you reckon?
Yeah, looking hopeful. Like I said, with the new lads coming in, so it's a bit more, adaptation of moving players around. Like we put boys in positions that they aren't used to.
Oh, okay.
They played well, so.
So how long have you been at the club all the time?
24. So I've been here since I was 6.
Wow.
Yeah, all the way through.
So obviously. Blew through and through by the sound of it. Yeah. So did you go away for uni or have you stayed here?
Yeah, I stayed here the whole time. Yeah.
Nice. So you must have seen quite a change at the club because obviously they had the Vodafone piece and.
I came through in 2019 officially for the men's.
Yeah.
That was what we won the league. Went up. I didn't play that season and then come back. Then COVID hit.
Yeah.
But since then I've been up through the whole way through.
So absolute honour for you to be captain there, mate. Yeah.
A lot. And lots of fans there as well.
Yeah, decent turnout. Great little club out. Pitch is not bad.
Yeah, no.
Friday night lights.
Yeah.
The many games you reckon you're going to get for that during the season? Try and get them.
We're going to play tomorrow, but our game's pretty cool, so we wanted another Friday night. But I don't think we've got any more on the cards. But
okay, so you can't put it in the season and stuff. It'd be nice. Yeah, it's decent turnout
for sure.
Especially that A34's a good nightmare, isn't it? It's dog shit. But obviously. Harry, thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
Have a great season. Go well, mate. Right, so are you club captain or just first team captain, Dan?
Effectively same role. Yeah.
Fair enough. So always been at Newbury?
Yeah, always been at Newbury. I don't know what pre-season that is I've just done, but I think my first one was like 2010, 2011. So
nice.
A long time.
So obviously players as kids, everything like that come through the system?
Not really, no. So my brother Toby, who's playing tonight, plays, but I play football.
Oh, okay.
And switched to rugby as I was kind of leaving school.
Yeah.
Holtz used to go up to under 19s.
Yeah.
So that was the first time I played club rugby,
nice.
which was here.
Yeah.
Played a little bit at university, St Mary's in Twickenham.
Oh, okay.
And then played for Newbury since then.
You can tell that obviously you used to play football. Done all right at 10 today. So as I was talking to James, obviously you pretty much run the game for Newbury at the minute, and obviously very backs orientated. What's your expectations for the season? Because it looks like it could be a good one. I know there's still that you don't want to put a flag in the ground, but I think you've done pretty well pre-season and. Yeah, against the Swindon team as well. I think you've done pretty well there.
Yeah, it's looking good. It's feeling really good. It's a bit difficult to know though. You went into last season with quite good expectations, and then had quite a few injuries early on.
Yeah.
Some guys who had long-term injuries that have only come back this year.
Yeah.
Started the season well and then struggled.
Yeah.
In the middle part. But I think our squad suits a quicker game.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get a good few nice wins early on in the season, and that really set us off in a good stead.
So just speaking of Harry, you got Chichester away next week.
Yeah.
That's quite a hard game to get out of the way early, but that'd be a good marker to figure out where you are.
Yeah, exactly. We had like 2 really competitive games against them last year. I thought actually we beat them away from home, having not played particularly well.
Right.
But they were good. They were better when we played them second time round. So I think we'd expect them to have improved as well. So tough first game, but one we're really looking forward to.
Yeah, so obviously you've been at the club a while. You must have seen some changes come and go. Obviously there's been a couple of years of rebuilds. Is that kind of where it's at? And now you feel you're back on the other side?
Yeah, exactly that. We, when I first started playing, we were kind of going down through the league.
Yeah.
And we kind of had lost lots of experience, players, and we're left with a really young squad.
Yeah.
And it took us quite a while to rebuild that. And then we kind of 2016, 17, 18, we had two really good squads actually here. And for various reasons, some of those boys didn't come back around COVID. Kind of either had stopped playing just before or stopped playing after. And so we kind of expectations changed slightly. We had a kind of a group of more experience, and then half the squad fairly inexperienced and younger lads. But they've got a couple of seasons under their belt now, some more first team experience. Looking
solid.
Looking better, and that's kind of like the club. Where the club is like good community rugby. We expect to win games at first team level, but we want boys to just play good rugby and enjoy doing so. Really.
Impact to James then as a coach, he seems to have made some. He's obviously come with a wealth of experiences. Has he added something to your guys' game? He's been here a couple of years. I know he's obviously been backs coach beforehand, but as head coach, has he sort of followed that ethos on?
Yeah, I think so. Like probably. With me and a few of the other senior boys that are like, how do we want to play? What suits our squad? Rather than going, okay, we're just going to
do this.
Go around the corner because that's an easy model to play. It's like, well, it doesn't really suit we have at times a really dynamic pack. It's like, how do we get their skills on show more often? So, he's really good with that. Being a teacher, really helps in terms of how sessions are being delivered and stuff like that, and managed to get other coaches in this year especially, which then gives him a bit more time to, both in sessions and away from sessions, to go, plan and prepare for different oppositions. So really good.
No, fair play. So exciting season ahead for you.
Really looking forward to it. We love playing in like these conditions. As I said, we found it tough last year in the middle bit. So that when that comes around and the pitches get a bit heavier, that'll be a real focus for us. Is like, what we don't want to just do the same as we did last year and get bullied up front, or really struggle in that and not be able to play our game. So we're gonna take as much of this as we can when we can spread teams and play really quick, but hopefully when it does get a bit softer, we'll have something else up our sleeve, really.
Okay, do you think you've got the adaptability?
I think so. Well, quite a few of those teams, Winchester, who we played before Christmas, we really struggled, and we beat them at home in not too different conditions. To be honest, it was a little bit better, but like not that much different. So I've got like absolute belief that we can put our game on them, and all teams like that maybe have a little bit more power up front.
I think Petersfield will probably have a similar competition for yourself as well. I think they've got big plans as well. I think their sort of levels not been reached yet. I had Liam and Matt McLean and Liam Perkins on early on in the pod as well, so spoke to them, and they've got big plans. The whole club is at Petersfield as well, so I think once they're on that roll.
So I don't know. I don't know loads about them, but I actually played with Liam briefly here when he was here, and I saw their results last year, that little cup run as well. They'll be super strong. But we know if we, even where we were last year, if we get it right, get our mentality right more than anything, match teams physically, top half of the league, we know we can beat anyone. Really excited.
That'd be brilliant. Cool. So, man, cheers for your time. Really appreciate it.
Right, that brings another episode to an end. I just want to extend my thanks to everyone that's joined, keeps joining, keeps sharing, getting involved in the pod. As you saw, we managed to release the competition that we plan on redesigning the backdrop and the logo of the pod. That's going to be really pushed from the 16th, so Monday. So make sure you get involved in that. We really want to promote grassroots rugby across the world. So we're going to try and share that as far and wide as possible. So obviously that's going to be really pushed from Monday coming. Want to say thank you to Newbury to welcoming me up, and obviously the invite to coming back up to their game on Saturday. And for next week's episode, we are down at the game from Petersfield that I said about. So we managed to get down to Petersfield. We get to talk to, obviously, team manager. We managed to catch the captains from both sides, the DOR from North Dorset, Zach, top bloke. Managed to catch up with Matt McLean as well from, obviously, earlier episodes. He's now DOR at Petersfield, so another really good chat with him, and just great to have Petersfield invite me up there. Obviously, the league lunch was exceptional. The work they've done with me as well has been brilliant. More than happy to help promote them. Newbury have done the same. So it's a great time to be in Grassroots Rugby, and hopefully the pod's carrying on. Don't forget, make sure you catch up with all your other games around. Obviously, European Super Cups around as well. So women's obviously playing New Zealand. That's going to be a big game. So let's keep growing Grassroots Rugby. Just want to say thank you to all. Thank you and goodbye.